Basement Movie Room fans, if we have any. We're back with our second in the Val Kilmer Trilogy. I've had a few, so this may be an interesting review because I'm not going to be as animated as usual because I fell asleep a little bit during the movie, not to lie. But we watched Willow, which is a favorite of both of ours from when we were kids. We obviously were born in the early 80s, and Willow was something we grew up with. To us at least, it's a fantastic sword and sandal epic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
In fact.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen Willow, I mean, where have you been, for one thing? Willow's directed by Ron Howard, made in 1988, or released in 1988, and stars Warwick Davis, Val Kilmer, and what is her name? Joanne Whalley?
Yes.
Is that her name? Yeah, Joanne Whalley, in basically the main roles. And Willow's basically the story of a Nelwyn, who is a little person who finds a Daikini baby, who is a normal-sized human being, in the river and has to return her to the Daikinis. But it's a lot more than that, really. But ultimately, Willow's a great adventure film. It's really good. Warwick Davis is great in it. It's a story by George Lucas, directed by Ron Howard. I think I said that already, though.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, the movie's great.
It is. Another reason why George Lucas should let other people direct. Good story.
And right, probably.
Yes. Acting was great.
Yeah, I mean, Willow, Warwick Davis is great. Val Kilmer is fantastic.
He's having fun.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Movie.
Everybody feels like they're really into this movie.
Yeah.
Is the thing. So everybody's giving it their all. Val Kilmer's fantastic. As opposed to Spartan, 88 to 2004, we're obviously 16 years apart from Spartan, which we reviewed last time. And Val Kilmer's acting in this is much better. It's not wooden. It feels like they really, really tried to get the best take out of it.
They took Han Solo and put him in medieval times.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to that.
Same
it's very similar to that
character. Yeah.
Yeah,
my opinion.
This is definitely a fantasy film. It's definitely modeled after Lord of the Rings because it's more like a couple of guys that, you know, shouldn't be doing this are basically on a mission to return something. You know, in Lord of the Rings, it's obviously the ring, and this is the baby who's very important to this particular, I don't know, era. It's not Earth. I don't know if it's Earth or not.
Middle
but
Earth?
Earth? Maybe. Yeah, so Willow finds the baby.
Yeah.
The town magic person, shaman, says that he needs to return the baby to the Daikinis. So he goes out on a mission to do that with a few other of the Nelwyn.
If he was the only living.
Yeah, you said he might have been a munchkin.
I thought,
I
thought I heard that somewhere.
The
I
sorcerer.
want to look it up. Yeah, he
the
might
Nelwyn
have been the only living one from the Wizard of Oz. So
that's possible. He is of an age that makes sense.
Yeah,
because he's probably in his 70s or 80s at this point. 88
in this movie. Yeah.
So Willow sets out, meets Mad Mardigan, Val Kilmer, with Migosh, and a couple other people. Tony Cox was one of the little people that was accompanying him, who you may recognize from Bad Santa.
Yeah,
because he was in Bad Santa. But
Minnie Morgan Freeman.
Minnie Morgan Freeman. Yes, that's what we kind of. A little bit looks like.
I didn't know his name.
Yeah, it's Tony Cox.
Yeah.
Tony Cox. And meets Mad Mardigan, and then Joanne Whalley, whatever her name is essentially a bad guy for the first 3/4 of the movie. And then Mad Mardigan falls in love with her, and she becomes a good guy. There's the Brownies, Kevin Pollak. It plays one of the Brownies. This is kind of like one of his early films. They're great. They're goofy.
I love their comedy.
Yeah, they're goofy. They're comic relief.
Yeah.
And then, they're going against this Queen Bavmorda, who's like the ultimate big bad in the movie. And she's great. I think the actress who played her played her right. Maybe a little over the top, but I think
she'd be a good bride for Palpatine.
Yeah. Yeah, she's over the top,
Yeah.
but in the good way, like Palpatine. In fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was good. She was good. So everybody in the movie overall is really good.
Yeah. A lot of parallels between Lord of the Rings, Gulliver's Travels, and even Star Wars in this movie.
Yep. Everything works in this movie.
Yeah.
It's entertaining. Maybe if you're younger and you're watching it now, you won't find it as entertaining. You'll find it a little goofy. But I thought the special effects were fantastic in this.
Yeah. Until they got to
Tir Kaleen or whatever it is.
Minister?
Yeah, something. No, Minas Tirith is Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
So it's Tir Kaleen, I think is what it was.
Terrace Lee.
Something like
Yeah, something like
It's
that.
something
Yeah.
like that. But they get there, and the compositing is not as good there.
Yeah.
But it's a much bigger scale compositing as opposed to the Brownies, which was a very small compositing. So, but overall, mostly practical effects.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lot of practical effects in this film, which is great. 88 didn't have much choice. It's hard to believe.
Precursor to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Yeah, I mean, it had to be.
Because all the big sets.
Yeah, they had big
behind
sets behind the Brownies. Yeah, the Brownies. Yeah, Kevin Pollak.
Taken a lot from that.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. I think it could have been a precursor.
Yeah.
Certainly they would have looked at this, and then a lot of stuff there. You know, obviously we're 5 years before Jurassic Park, but overall it looks really good.
Yeah.
I mean, the practical effects work. The green screen effects
88.
are fairly good. 5 years, 93.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking at after Star Wars.
So yeah, I mean,
7 years after Star Wars. 6 years after. Yeah, I mean, it's better. Yeah.
yeah, and ultimately, I mean, I think the movie holds up.
Yeah.
I mean, it holds up. Every time I watch it, I think it's good. I think it's entertaining.
Couple plot holes with the whole Eric, Mad Mardigan.
Yeah, Eric and Matt Mardigan relationship was not fleshed
They didn't
out.
flesh that out
Yeah,
at all.
definitely not. Definitely not. But Matt Mardigan still felt like a character. Eric, not so much, but he was secondary.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was secondary. Cool sword.
Yeah. The hand sword.
Yeah, the hand sword.
Which you don't see ever again.
Yeah, and then we got like all the props and everything in this movie were fantastic. I really love the props. Everything. The armor, the swords, everything. You can tell they definitely put some money in it.
Very good score.
Oh.
Horner.
It's James Horner.
Knows where to.
Yeah.
Horner is like Williams, where he knows where to hit.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hit the
James
heart.
Horner scored it, and it was very good. Very perfect score. Every scene was scored perfectly. Everything worked out perfectly. All the actors were very good. The direction was good. Ron Howard, great. This is what you looked it up. His fifth film, fifth or sixth film. So he, this was obviously his first kind of epic, large-scale film, but he did a great job. Certainly, and I think you made some comparisons to Solo, which is his more recent film. Solo, a lot of
same feeling.
Yeah, the feel,
like
everything.
The grittiness and everything that it really did. Solo and Willow feel a lot alike.
Yeah,
people didn't like Solo when it came out. People didn't like Willow.
Yeah, Willow was
when
not a huge commercial success, but I feel like it's found its audience since then.
Yeah.
And I've always loved
I
it.
think it's going the same way with Solo.
Yeah, I think Solo's going to find an audience.
Yeah.
For sure. Excuse me. But yeah, Willow is a fun movie. It's a good looking movie overall for being from 1988. The acting is uniformly good. The directing is good.
I think it's very underrated.
Yeah, I mean,
and overlooked.
It is somewhat underrated. I don't know if it's overlooked because a lot of people have heard of it.
Yeah.
But I think it's
when
underrated.
you think of fantasy films, you don't think of Willow.
No, you don't bring up Willow as a fantasy film. But then again, Disney's planning on bringing it back with a series. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that series as well. Because where does it go? Is Laura Dana going to be in the series?
Eric and Mad Mardigan plot holes?
Well, Eric's dead.
They
They might go back.
Yeah.
They might go back. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Oh, and you also pointed out that the guy who played Kale was in a lot of other Lucas movies.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
He was the guy that Indy fought in Temple of Doom and Lost Ark.
Yeah.
So.
And then I also pointed out to you that he was named Kale because of Pauline Kael, a Hollywood critic that George Lucas had a lot of issues with because she did not like his movies. So he named the bad guy Kale after Pauline Kael. Look her up. She had some bad reviews of George Lucas movies. So I don't even think she likes Star Wars. That may be wrong, but I don't think she likes Star Wars or American Graffiti or any of George Lucas's movies. So he named the bad guy. He indicated that he wanted the bad guy named Kale in Willow because of her, which is kind of interesting because she was a very famous critic. But yeah, Willow's great.
Yeah, he was a great Skeletor.
Oh, he does look like Skeletor.
Yeah.
More so than Frank Langella even looked like in Master of the Universe that I discussed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But I enjoyed Willow. I really enjoy it. Every time I see it, I've watched it probably, oh God, I don't even know how many times.
Yeah, I put it in the background for sound when I'm cleaning and other things. So, yeah.
What are you rating Willow?
Out of 5?
Yep.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's tough. Because nostalgia also plays a role in this rating.
Yeah. You know, after watching it, after all these years, and like actually trying to critique it, I'm gonna say a 3.9.
I was gonna go 4 because I don't do anything between halves.
Yeah.
Willow's not a perfect film. Willow's a good film. It's not a 5. My son is outside the door making noise. It's not a 5 because it's not perfect, but 4 is where I would put it because it's a movie I could probably just pop on anytime and just watch. And if it's on TV and I catch it, I'm probably going to watch it. So 4 stars out of 5 is perfect for me. You're at 3.9.
Yeah.
Pretty close to the same score.
Yeah,
we were actually the same score
on
on both.
4. Yeah, we'll just call it 4.
Yeah, 4 is close enough.
Yeah, I'll be honest. 4.
We were pretty close on both Spartan and this
I
one.
was trying to be hard on it.
We got one more for the Kilmer Trilogy. We'll leave that as a surprise for what we're going to watch.
Varsity Blues. Oh, okay.
That's Bud Kilmer. Oh, so we will see you next time on Basement Movie Room. Watch Willow if you haven't seen it. I can't imagine you haven't, but if you haven't, watch it because it's a fantastic movie and a lot of fun. And we'll see you next time on Basement Movie Room. See ya.
Have a good night, Pex.
You are great.